There's a big difference. So many of us were just trying to be successful, and success is measured by maybe it's a number in a bank account, maybe it's cars, house, family, love, whatever that is, which is great. Those are all very individual, personalized things.
Aaron Pierson shares how he evolved from a hands-on designer with 400 clients into a business architect, using AI and systems to build companies that grow without depending on his time.
But significance is when you start impacting other people. So even in my own business, I'm asking myself, like, am I doing this to be successful, or am I trying to be significant? How can what I do impact others in a positive way? So with that being my motivation and my North Star, my vector, that's pretty much what I'm yielding everything against. Is what I'm doing about success in myself, or is it about significance and serving others?
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Van Ornum back with another edition of the Scaling Up Success podcast. Today, we're brought to you by Synergist. It is your scalable operations company that helps you grow exponentially faster at a fraction of the cost. Go check out synergist.com for more information. While you're at it, please like, comment, and subscribe on our videos on Spotify and YouTube. Today, I have Aaron Pierson. Aaron, how the heck are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, we're just gonna jump into it, man. You got all kinds of stuff happening. So, tell us a little bit about how you got all of this stuff started, man.
It's a long story, so I'll try to condense it as best I can. So formally, I have a degree in graphic design and marketing. About 20 years ago, I went to college for design and marketing. I had always been interested in the process of creation. I like having ideas conceptually, and then I like creating and building those ideas.
Sure.
So, as a designer and you call it like an artist slash designer as a background, I started a very simple kind of boutique design agency. We did a bunch of identity design, we did print, business cards, the basic stuff you would expect from a graphic designer, just a kid on a computer making graphics, making things look pretty for people making money. But what I realized, just like most business owners in any business, is that a lot of these ideas that you have initially have a ceiling, and they turn you into a practitioner versus a business. So,
Yeah.
I was building a very busy practice. I had over 400 clients at one point, and it got to the point where I'd kind of come into, and I had a studio. I actually rented my own little office and started formulating a business. But I remember coming in, and I kept coming in earlier and earlier and earlier because I had so many emails to respond to. And it was just like pixel pushing. Move this image over here, change this, change that color, change that font. And I realized at that moment that I had made, although I had this dream and this vision of having this big design agency, I kind of built a business that didn't really fulfill me, internally. And if I wasn't there, I wasn't earning money. So I built what now is described as a practice. Just like a
Okay.
dentist, just like a doctor, you get paid for the services that you perform when you come into work. And that's when I realized that I need to be a problem solver, not an order taker. And
Hmm.
that's when I started developing skills in strategy. I started understanding business development. Today, I describe myself more as an architect of businesses. I design businesses. And I do that through a lot of different means. We do use design, we do use, web experiences and AI and automation. But I'm more interested in creating a system that allows me to generate money and revenue independent of my physical time sitting at a computer. So, yeah, it's more of a passive income system that I've been trying to develop and architect, over the last 15 years. And aside from doing it for myself, I help others do the same.
So, what are you most proud about on this journey that you've been on? Because, you go through ups and downs. Like a lot of people think, that they're just going to jump into something and they put their toe in a little bit and they barely, they're like, they get a little bit of success and feel like they're gonna, be able to turn the corner. But what's your most prideful piece that you've found developing what you got going on?
So this is going to be an interesting answer. On my journey, you have to use and leverage a lot of other people's talents, right? To achieve the goals you want to achieve, you typically can't do it by yourself. And even in your logo, you got the scaling up with the mountain. It's like what fun is being on the top of the mountain if you're by yourself? So for me, early on, I started partnering with and teaching at a lot of the colleges. So the Art Institute of Phoenix, Now I currently partner with and collaborate with the University of Advancing Technology. My the thing I'm probably most proud of is helping develop students who are in this infancy stage of their career and their understanding of how to provide value with their expertise to the marketplace. It's interacting with these students and watching them evolve from, from down here taking orders to up here solving problems. So when you look at like my LinkedIn profile, for example, you'll see maybe three testimonies of C-suite executives, publicly traded company executives saying, "Oh, Aaron's awesome at branding and strategy and yada yada." But the majority of my of all the recommendations that I get are from the students who interned through my company and have gone off to build successful agencies or just companies in general. So for me, there's a ripple effect. What I do is teachable. You can't teach like hustle and grit, and I get that, but how you approach a problem and how you use creative thinking and design thinking to solve that problem, that's something that you can teach, and that's something that you can help influence in others. So to me, I think that the thing I'm most proud of, yeah, are the mentees that I've supported along their journey. And some of them actually work for me full time now. They've decided that their dream is great. And I said, hey, if you give me 10 years, which is nothing, they're 22. You'll be 32 by the time you're done giving me your 10 years. You will have more experience in this 10 years than you could get applying for jobs and doing everything else because I'm so multifaceted. So some of them want to stay and work with me, and others go off and develop their own thing. I don't hold anyone back. You want to go develop your thing? How can I support you? So that's it.
I
Probably not
love
what you
that,
were
man.
expecting, but that's it.
No, I love that. That's fantastic. Like, and it kind of goes into a little bit of like my next question because it's like it's kind of unexpected of what you're, like the traditional answer that you may hear from something like that. But like, what have was there like an unexpected conversation that sent you on a different tangent along the way, or was it like maybe just meeting somebody along the way? You're like, holy cow, maybe we could do it this way.
Well, yeah. So we've been talking so far at a pretty high level. I've been giving you very specific answers. I'm going to keep it at this high level because I want people to be able to attach maybe my story and experience to whatever fill in the
Yeah.
variable that they're dealing
Yep.
with. So,
Yep.
what was the thing that changed for me? The thing that changed for me, there was a woman named Janessa, don't know her last name. She's actually a pastor. And she was kind of preaching on a sermon and she was talking about the difference between success and significance. And there's a big difference. So many of us were just trying to be successful, and success is measured by however we measure it. Maybe it's a number in a bank account, maybe it's cars, house, family, love, whatever that is, which is great. Those are all very individual, personalized things. But significance is when you start impacting other people. So even in my own business, I'm asking myself, like, am I doing this to be successful or am I trying to be significant? How can what I do impact others in a positive way? So with that being my motivation and my North Star, my vector, that's pretty much what I'm yielding everything against. Is what I'm doing about success in myself, or is it about significance and serving others? When a customer comes to me with a problem, I always say this. I say, hey, I care more about your business and your feelings. And the reason I say that is because later on in the conversation, it gives me agency to say, hey, that's a bad idea. Hey, that's not, I would not go in that direction, right? And I've already told you, I don't care about your feelings. We're here to solve, these big problems. We're here to help you achieve your goals. But, similarly, that kind of idea, I think it's important to have values in yourself for your business to help guide you in whatever direction that you're going. And again, I'm using this in variable talk because your listeners could be course creators, they could be salespeople, they could be podcast. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The question I think you should ask yourself is, are you trying to create a life of success or a life of significance? And when you build a life around significance, what manifests from that is 10 times greater than what you will have from personal success.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. So one thing that you touched on lightly earlier was like that you've had some people that you worked with that now have became like intrapreneurs with you, not necessarily entrepreneurs, but like how do you build a culture where people want to give that time, that want to do and be a part of everything that you grow? Because it's like so many business owners they know how to lead themselves, and then they're like, man, I just can't get what I need out of my team.
Yeah, I mean that's a leadership skill, right? So we all know Simon Sinek, leaders create leaders.
Yeah,
So the question is, we don't give somebody a task. I don't give these people tasks. I tell them the result that I want, and I say, come up with three solutions to help me get there. Let's talk about them. I need you to use your brain, think creatively. And here's the thing, if you force people like an intern or an employee or anything to actually think, you give them the ability to come up with their own solutions, they're more invested in the outcome as well as the execution phase. If you sit and you tell someone, do this exactly, paint by number system, they're not going to stick around. They might do it for a year, right? They're like, oh, the pay's good, the benefits are great, but they don't feel like they have any agency. They don't feel like they can be creative. I ask people with less experience than me, what would you do? And to be honest, sometimes I'm shocked. I'm like, hey, it's actually not a bad answer. Let's tweak that a little bit. Or hey, have you thought about this? My thing is I try to lead by that kind of principle. I'm more of a question asker. I want to inspire others to come up with their own solutions. And I think when you inspire people and you can connect with them that way, their loyalty is much stickier than someone who you're like, just do this. If you need to just do this person, hire a VA. They're fantastic. They'll do exactly what you say. Make them a what is it, a Loom video? Yeah, just make them a Loom video and send them on their way. Okay, great. But if you want to like build culture, you need to have a two-way dialogue with the people that are there. It can't be I'm in charge, do what I say and don't ask any questions. I've had
right,
clients like that I've literally fired. I'm like, we listen, just because you pay me doesn't mean you own me. I
right,
accept your money too, right? So think about this. If you have a client who's the same way, you're participating in this insanity in the transaction just by accepting it. Your money's no good here because this doesn't fit with me and my values and the culture that we're trying to. I'm here to protect my people, right? If I find somebody who's talented, I'm not going to introduce them to or try to, expose them to a megalomaniac of a client, which there are many of them out there. There are many poor leaders, like, and superficially and on social media, they boast their Christmas parties, they boast, all their client appreciation stuff, but internally, their employees are afraid of them. They're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to share their ideas. And that's a horrible existence, man. We are products of our environment. So I don't want to be in environments like that at all. And so we just try to cultivate an environment of inclusiveness, of creativity, of asking questions, of challenging what we think is the norm. In my opinion, there's more than one way to solve a problem. And my way isn't always the best way. I might have 75% of it cleared out, but I might learn something from this guy who's fresh out of school, who's playing in this new AI program that I've never even heard of because there's 1,000 of them now. So it would be stupid of me as a leader to say I know everything and you just do what I say. So yeah.
I love that, man. Very cool. One of the things that we do here is we try to get to know our founders like on a little bit more of a personal level. Is like you ready for a few rapid fire questions?
Sure.
All right, man. What book are you reading right now?
Don't even remember the name of it. I want to say it's called Scaling Smarter. I just bought it on Amazon and it just came and I haven't even opened it up yet. Here, I'll tell you in just a second, but I want to
Yeah,
say it's called Scaling Smarter, but let me just double check because it's literally, if I go here, look, it's at the top of my list right here. The Science of Scaling is the
nice,
book that I'm about to crack open right now.
nice, very cool. Do you have a bucket list travel spot that you want to go to still?
Oh, absolutely. I've traveled all over the world, but there are some places I haven't been. So Singapore is probably at the top of the list. Definitely Japan, anywhere in Israel, Tel Aviv. I've been to Europe quite a bit, been to New Zealand, South Africa. I'd love to go to South Africa. I'm giving you way too many, dude,
I
because
love it.
you're asking the wrong guy, dude. I travel all the time. So I would say probably the top one is Singapore.
Nice, very cool. Hey, what's one piece of productivity, like a productivity tool or productivity hack that you have to use during the day? Like it's a go-to for you.
Fast. Don't eat until 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I dig it, man. Keeps your mind where it needs to be.
It's most people will run out of energy and burn out by 2, 3 o'clock. It's because you're eating crap. Stop eating crap. Drink some black coffee. Don't eat until 1 o'clock. You will get more out of the day. You'll have more brain power, more creativity, more problem solving. If your brain doesn't function properly, how are you supposed to operate at a super high level, right? We sit down, we work in computers. Like we need to be able to like work at a high frequency, and the food and the things that we digest slows that down.
I love that, man. Hey, what was your first job?
Oh, this is going to be a trip. I was a yo-yo professional. I know. So I have a yo-yo right here. I was, yeah, actually a world ranked yo-yo champion. I worked for a company called Yomega, which was
What?
owned by Bandai America. So Bandai, they're like Gundam and Power Rangers and everything else. But yeah, so I was a yo-yo professional. I was paid to go to different schools around the country and show off my badass yo-yo skills. And this is a true story. So
That is
yeah, my
awesome.
first tattoo is actually a guy playing with a yo-yo, and it's on my shoulder. I was 16 years old.
That's phenomenal, man. That's super cool. Hey, if you could have one superpower like the X-Men or like the Avengers, what would it be?
Oh man, I don't know, dude. I mean, flying would be awesome. Teleportation, flying, like teleporting to different
Yeah,
areas, like that Jumper movie, that'd be
yeah,
cool. That would save a lot on travel.
I dig it.
Anything I could fit in my arms would just teleport with me. Just like that'd be
I
cool.
love it. I love it. Little Nightcrawler action from the X-Men. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, either living or deceased, who would it be?
Oh man. I'd say Jesus, but I feel like I get to spend an eternity with that guy. So maybe I would have to go with oh man. I don't know. This is a tough question, dude. I don't know. There's so many, there's a handful of people that come to mind.
What's your Mount Rushmore table of four?
Mount Rushmore table of four. I definitely would want to talk to Elon Musk for sure.
Okay.
We're going to get a little political here. I'd probably want to talk to Elon Musk, Candace Owens, Erica Kirk, and yeah, that would probably be we'll just put
Nice.
three there. I'll be the fourth.
Very cool. Very cool. Are you an
Yeah,
early bird or a night owl?
total early bird.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
cool. I got two more. We're almost done. Do you have a favorite cheat meal?
Cheat meal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just pizza in general, dude. Pizza, any bread and cheese.
Love it. Love it. Last one. I know you like being healthy and stuff like that. What's bumping on your workout playlist?
Dude, honestly, a lot of Forrest Frank. I used to listen to some hardcore like Tool and Metallica. That's changed up a little bit. I'm listening to a lot of Forrest Frank and Brandon Lake and, just that genre.
It's a good day to have a good day, my friend. Awesome job, dude. You crushed it, man. Well done with the rapid fire.
Yeah, well, I try. I don't think about those things. You know what I mean? Superpowers, table of fours. I'm not,
I know.
the one conversation you don't really think about that often. At least I don't.
I know. I do it on purpose.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time, be a little time traveler side, what one piece of advice would you give yourself, like maybe in your early 20s?
It's advice that was already given to me. I just wish I would have taken on to it earlier, which was, idle hands are like the devil's playground. Like when you have nothing to do, you tend to get in a lot of trouble. So for me, like life changed for me when I found a passion and I had purpose. So it would have been like expose yourself to more. Like if you want to learn something, go do it. If you want to try something, go try it. Don't limit yourself. Like I'm a serial hobbyist, man. I have more hobbies than anybody else I know. And I wish I would have exercised that when I was a little younger and instead of getting in as much trouble as I did. But hey, man, there's no regrets. It all brings you to where you are today. But, stay busy, keep learning and don't put your foot off the gas.
I love it, man. Now, conversely, where do you see yourself in like 5 years or so?
5 more years. I mean, my plan in the next 5 years is to, I don't want to say retire because I'm not going to ever stop working. I enjoy it. I love doing it. But it's really just to untether myself from any specific location. My kids will be out of school by that time. So, I'll probably be living on a beach, on a boat, transient, traveling quite a bit. That's where I see myself. But I'll still be working on my laptop and having fun and, hopefully solving big problems. That's what I enjoy doing.
I dig it, man. If people are interested in your services, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, magneticai.com is my software company and my AI company. So that's magnetiqai.com. Or you could, follow me on Instagram. It's at co-create daily. I'm taking a little social pause right now, so I'm not on if you're depending on when you're watching this. But usually I'm very active on my stories. And a lot of it, it's not like, hey, this is what I'm eating today. It's mainly inspirational. Some of it's pretty tactical. On the private side, if you're interested in joining the closed group, it's a little more spiritual, a little more faith-based, but you'll definitely get a hit of motivation when it comes to going to the gym. So
Awesome, man. Aaron, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast today. Thank you so much for your time, my friend.
thanks, Ryan. Take care.
Absolutely. Ryan Van Ornum signing off for the Scaling Up Success podcast. Thanks again. Until the next time, make sure you go back, like and comment and subscribe on all the videos. Until the next time, stay blessed, everyone. Take care.